Welcome, and in today's video I want to show you guys how to place the perfect tattoo stencil. I want to show you guys exactly how to get that stencil to be exactly where you want it. Secondly, we're going to be taking that same stencil and we're going to place it on fake skin. I want you guys to be able to see how that goes, how that works. And lastly, we're going to take that same stencil that we put on practice skin and let it dry for a week and see how it works then. So if you guys are ready to do all that, then let's go. So we got our stencil cut out, we're ready to apply it to the skin. In this case, we're gonna be using my wife's leg, the side of it. But before we go and lay the stencil, we have to do some stuff first. First thing, we gotta clean the skin. So let's do that. And in order to do that, I use isopropyl alcohol. I just put some on a paper towel before I shave the skin and wipe it several times. Here we go. At this point, guys, I take a little green soap mixture on a paper towel, spray it nice and good, and then we're gonna apply that to the skin as like a shaving lotion, if you will. Take the fresh razor, start from the bottom, and work your way up. And you wanna do it like this. Nice slow pushes, because you're pushing the hair up as you go. Now in this case, there's really not much hair here, but I at least want to show you guys how this is done. Once you get to the end, you're going to take your paper towel and scoop up any hair that is there. And then you're just going to dry it off and pitch this and this. Now before the next step, you want to make sure that you dry it off completely. Alright guys, the first thing is we're going to use some medical tape. We're just going to take a small piece off of this and attach it to the top of our stencil. Like that. So it's just at the top. I haven't applied any stencil stuff or anything to the skin at this point. I just want to place my stencil exactly where I want it. So I know I want it in here. And let's say we had something to work around. This would work great for that as well. So first thing is I put it on the skin. I try to figure out where it's going to look best, yada yada. Let's say right there is key. I apply the tape. Next, I take one of these. This is a Skin Marker XL. They're disposable little skin markers. Okay? So I come down here. That's where I want it. I'm going to mark both the stencil and the skin like that. Again over here. And then maybe once right there and maybe once right there. Next, we're going to be using stencil stuff. We want to make sure we shake it well before using. So give it a good shake. Open it up. And now we're going to apply a little bit to our hand. And that's really all you need right there. It's just that little bit on the tip of my finger. We're going to apply that in while holding the stencil up. So I'm holding it up and I'm putting the stencil stuff down. I'll hold this up with my other hand and we'll rub this around. Now I like to apply a second thin layer. I think it's best to do two small, thinner layers than one big layer. Again, this is how much more I'm adding, just a little bit. I'd like to note that we're not tattooing this. I'm just showing you how to use this. I'm gonna wipe this off when we're done, just so you know. Now you wanna wait till it gets just a little bit tacky, till it's sticking to your hand just a little bit. If it's too wet, it's not gonna work very well. If it's too dry, it's not going to work very well. If you have too much applied, you can always take a paper towel and dab a little bit of it off until you get the desired effect. Now at this point, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. You're going to take that down and you're going to start by trying to line up your marks. Once you have the top, you're going to hold tight. Right there. So our lines are lined up there. Our lines are lined up here, and we're applying pressure. Now remember guys, it's very important when putting a stencil on that the person is in their natural resting position. Natural standing, natural whatever. It's for that reason that I'm currently on the floor and have my client on a chair. I'm just taking a knee on the ground so I'm at eye level. If you don't place a stencil when somebody's in their natural position, then things get bad. And I'll show you that because I learned by myself making my own mistakes. So let's take a quick look at what that looks like. In this tattoo, I laid the stencil while I was in this position, in the bent leg position, okay? I put it on the skin and I tattooed it. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, great practice, looking good. And then I looked in the mirror. Well, I stood up and went and looked in the mirror. And as you stand up, you'll see what will happen to that helmet. It elongated, yeah. So that's why you want the person in the natural position so you don't have something like this happen. Everything we do, guys, is a learning experience. I learned a lot, and I'm teaching you guys that because I made that mistake. So nonetheless, our stencil should be good to go. We're just gonna take it from the bottom here and peel it straight up. And there you have it, guys, a perfectly placed stencil. Now, if I had to work around something, then this works even better. And like I did in the other video, which I'll link up here somewhere, I also had to work around another tattoo, and I did it just like this. This is how I pretty much lay all my stencils. Okay, for this one, guys, it's not gonna be crazy. I'm not gonna use tape or anything like that. So I'm gonna start it off like I would start off anything, and I would use stencil stuff because that's what I use. So let me shake that up and get that onto the fake skin and see what happens. I'm gonna use a really thin layer here, guys, because telling by this fake skin, it's not super porous, so I don't think it's gonna really absorb this stuff, so we'll give it a go. Alright guys, that's how much I'm using. Just a really, really thin layer in there. I'm gonna apply it, then I'm gonna wipe the excess off. Now we're gonna place our stencil. I'm gonna apply pressure. I'm gonna treat this exactly the way I would if I was putting a stencil on real skin. Probably wrong, and if it is wrong and you've done this, let me know in the description how you got it to work. Or maybe you didn't, you're in the same boat. Either way, let's find out. Alright guys, there you have it. It's pretty much there. There's a little pieces missing here and there. That's actually not horrible. I expected a lot worse. But again, a thin layer of stencil stuff. Wipe the excess off. Just leave a very thin layer. Apply the stencil. Apply pressure. Wait. Peel it off very quickly. And this is what you'll get. This is tattooable. No doubt it's tattooable. But to what level it's tattooable, we'll find out. Alright guys, I've given it a few minutes to dry. So if I were tattooing this, I'd be bzz, 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 and then I'd have to wipe that mark so I could see what I did there. So I wipe that mark and it does go away. It's still faint. I don't know if you can pick that up. It is still faint. So you're gonna have to learn how to tattoo smartly and keep moving. You meticulously moving from the bottom up. So if you lose your stencil as you go, you should already have that area lined out so you can continue working your way up. Will it be difficult? Yes, but that's why it's practicing. If you can learn how to tattoo on this, a stencil that disappears as you go, then you'll be even better set up when you're on the skin. Alright, I let this dry for 7 days. I didn't touch it. You can still see the original streak mark right there. So here we go. Let's take a look. So again, we're tattooing and we're wiping. Now we're, oh buddy. As you can see, a little bit of it will come off.
So if you're worried about tattooing fake skin because you don't want your stencil to run away from you or disappear from wiping, then let it dry for a while. Like you said, this was 7 days. Who knows? Maybe a day, 2 days, 3 days. Try it out, practice, see how long it takes. And in the next video, guys, we're gonna be tattooing this fake skin, and we're gonna find out how good or how bad this particular type of fake skin is to tattoo. And I'll be sharing that with you. I'll go over what I like about it, what I don't like about it, how it goes. You'll get to see it firsthand, good or bad. So again, guys, if you learned anything from this video or you just enjoyed it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It really does help support the channel. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. New videos every week. I'm here to help the best I can. I've also included a couple videos over here. Take a look at those. I put them there to help you, and I hope that they do. And until next time, guys, peace.